Okay, guys, good morning, everyone. We'll continue from there where we left off. So, you know how to install NPM. We install Node.js. After that, we did create React app and we created. After that, we started using NPM start and we are running the application. And debugging first React app, we can debug the normal way. Since it is not a React app, see this React is will not be there. If I open React, this one, you see React is enabled for it. This page is developed with React. This is React debugger tool. So we can debug the code like JavaScript, HTML, the same way how we debug, right? The same we debug. But it is having extra React debugger tool, how to use it and all. Slow and steadily we can understand. This is the extension. This is the Windows extension. Like what extension? Chrome extension basically. This is React Dev Tools. So we need to do this extension using Chrome Dev Store and we can here whenever we do this, it will be having this like we have element source console, right? The same way we have components and profile which are extra added with React. This slow and steadily we can understand. So whenever we open React app and whenever we do inspect of it, not page source, whenever we do inspect of it, then we can slow and steadily we can add this here. Here we have all. Slow and steadily we can understand. I will tell you components and profiler. So now we have app component, right? It is not having any properties and all. We can able to see profiler. So what is this and what is meant for? Slow and steadily we can understand. Okay, that is React Dev Tools. We got this because we enable this extension. Fine. So how to run React app you already know now. So from here we will start. And can you tell me the structure of the React page? I will close all these applications. So any application will have the structure node modules because node modules will hold all the libraries. For example, for React, we need React DOM, React router for routing. These libraries we need to add using npm install. So that will be installed and put into the node modules, everything. And even we have minified JS bundlers. అంటే మనం ఏంది బ్రౌజర్ అండర్స్టాండబుల్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ లో ఇఫ్ క్రియేటెడ్ ఏ క్లాస్ టైప్ స్క్రిప్ట్ క్లాస్ ఆర్ సంథింగ్ ఏదైనా సరే మినిఫై చేసి వేర్ బ్రౌజర్ కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్ that will be converted using some other library called Babel. So we need to install all those. So those will be put in the node modules. And we have a public folder where we have an icon index.html, right? That icon we can mention here. This one. Why public URL? Because this public URL with respect to this particular folder అనమాట. ఈ ఫోల్డర్ యూస్ చేసుకొని ఈ పబ్లిక్ యూఆర్ఎల్ యూస్ చేసి ఒకవేళ అది ప్రొడక్షన్ లో ఉంటే ఏమవుతుంది సమ్ bytesplash.in లో ఉంటుంది లోకల్లో ఉంటే లోకల్ హోస్ట్ లో ఉంటుంది దట్ ఈస్ ద పబ్లిక్ యూఆర్ఎల్ ఇట్ విల్ ఆటోమేటిక్లీ టేక్ ఏ ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ లో ఉంది ప్రొడక్షన్ లో ఉంది రిలీజ్ చేసాం అనుకోండి admin.bytesplash దాని ప్రొడక్షన్ యూఆర్ఎల్ అది దాని లోపల ఉన్న ఫేవికాన్ ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ లోకల్ హోస్ట్ లో ఉంటే లోకల్ హోస్ట్ స్లాష్ అట్లా ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ ద పబ్లిక్ యూఆర్ఎల్ అందువల్ల మనం అలా పెడతాం అనమాట మేనిఫెస్ట్ చేశాను ఎందుకంటే ఇట్ విల్ బి డౌన్లోడబుల్ అండ్ ఇన్స్టాలబుల్ ఫర్ ఆల్ ద ప్లాట్ఫామ్స్ ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ ఫోన్లో క్రోమ్కి వెళ్ళి యాడ్ టు హోమ్ కొడితే ఇన్స్టాల్ అయిపోద్ది కదా మీకు అయింది ఎల్ఎంఎస్ కానీ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ కానీ సేమ్ అలాగే మనకి ఇక్కడ వీ హ్యావ్ ద సింబల్ కాల్డ్ డౌన్లోడ్ ఆప్షన్ ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ డౌన్లోడింగ్ ద డెస్క్టాప్ it will download as the desktop application. How I install LMS or anything, it will download as the desktop application. Remember it. If you download in the mobile phone, it will download as the mobile application. That will be iOS or anything. If you do that, right, that will be happening with the same. And default port number for the React will be 3000. So in already installed chase, I already installed. That's why it's showing like this. I need to uninstall it. I can uninstall directly from here itself. Okay, you got it. So that is because of manifest.json. manifest.json, it will say React app sample. Name is the app sample. Again, you try to install, it will say app sample. It's localhost. It will install from the browser. Means it will share the browser memory only. That's why it's having only 1 KB or 1 MB data only. It's not take much. But in order to create that app and icon on the top of desktop, it will create that size. Otherwise, all the memory will be shared from the browser only. ఇప్పుడు మీరు you install this from your mobile, from your Chrome. You logged in the Chrome. Install చేసిన application లో login అయిపోయింది. Means it is sharing the same memory reference from the Chrome. You got it? It will not create the own memory reference in the RAM. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇది ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తానంటే it will be having only size less than MB. But the whole memory it is sharing from the browser only. బ్రౌజర్లో ఎప్పుడైతే ఆపేస్తావో it will stop here also. So that is how. And the same it will be installed on any platform. That is because of manifest.json. So adi నేనేమంటానంటే ఇప్పుడు it is having now, for example, we are having small devices. For that particular small devices, for mobile screens and all, we want only this much size. That will be 64 by 64 or 32 by 32 or 24 by 24 or 16 by 16, any of the size. Again, it is having some larger devices like tabs and all. It is having this icon 192 by 192, large icon. Again, bigger screens, we want 512 width and height. Those icons we have. So basically one is 512, one is 192. So this will be taken for the different platforms. A platform, top platform, it will create that particular size icon that we need to mention here. It will automatically take here icon size. It will automatically take from here because logo 512 GB, the same we are taking here .png. So it will reflect and create the standalone application with respect to the platform. No, you are installing Chrome desktop, you are installing in mobile, or you are installing in anything, it will automatically take with respect to the platform. And its color is this one, theme color and background color. We can change that also. I can just put gray also, like something as it is on one bit. I can change the background color, theme color also I can change. I can change. Whenever we are installing in the browser, right? Mobile lo మనం ఎక్కువ చూడొచ్చు అనమాట. So it will be top of the search bar ఉంటుంది కదా, it will be having this theme color. So that is we can mention here. This is the public folder. And we have the src folder where we have the code files. App.css means all the CSS files, CSS thing we need to write in app.css only. We can write separate CSS also, but fine. But app.css is linked. And app.js or JSX. Here we will discuss about JSX. What is JSX? We can create app.js or app.jsx. All the JavaScript code will be there in JS. JavaScript file or JSX file will tell the differences. So that, for example, we created a function app. So this we will be exporting. This we will be using in index.js. How it will be attached? React DOM we imported from React DOM client npm library, which is in node modules. From there I am creating the root element, which is get element by id root, because in index.html we have root id. For this we'll be attaching the whole HTML. We need to get element by id first in index.js. We got the element root, right? For that we need to render our own React component. So we need to get the element by id. So that we will send into the react.create root. This is the root element. We are getting the root element using react.create root. For example, R1. So you are creating root element for what? By id, right? Ade kada, that is what we want. We have only id. For this we want. So like this we can create. You can create r1.render also, that is the name. For this we want to render our application. So using render method, inside render function, if it is strict mode, we can send as react.strict mode. It's a tag from React basically. Inside that we need to send the app, which is the function app which we are importing. So that is the self-closing tag. For example, we have one more thing like login. We can send login also. Login unte, login లేకపోతే it will not able to get it. See, I don't have login. Means it cannot able to find it. If I write login, if there is a function with login same name, it will automatically detect it and it will import from that particular file. Otherwise, it will not able to import. And see here we have app.js, but I imported from app.jsx. Remove this because I renamed the file, right? I renamed the file. Now it will work again. Index.css. Since we are using index.js, we can create index.css also for that particular. For body, for head, everything we can write in index.css. And package.json, it will mention the dependencies. Dependencies lo what we are using. We are using React 18.3.1, which is latest version. That is React DOM, Chart.js, React script. All we need in dependencies. Whatever we are installing, that will be inside the dependencies. And scripts, how to run npm start. It will start the application. React script starter. Build. In order to host somewhere, I need to host it somewhere to online. I need to do build, npm run build or ng build, anything. Ng test or npm run test. So it will run the unit testing. Unit testing in the sense at the end of the at the end of the course, you will learn how to do unit testing. Means you created a function to calculate the addition of two numbers. Whether that is working fine or not, that particular single unit of function is working fine or not, then you need to test. That will call as unit testing. So now, for example, I will tell you what is unit testing. Here I have many features. Here I have 6 buttons. Everything will be working fine or not. I need to test. Right? That is one. After this, again, we have single units. Whenever you click on this, that particular content is loading or not. That is one more test. Again, whenever I click add module, it will open new pop-up. That is one unit. Again, if I do copy, it will open this from which subject you want to copy. When I click again, this should open. Again, whenever I click, this should select. These particular subjects will be populated. Subject might change. So everything, every functionality is a unit now. That should be checked using coding way. Like we need to write that coding on button click. We need to get this result. We need to get this drop down, everything. That is unit testing. We will learn at the end of the course. Package.log.json is, for example, you installed which one? React DOM. Okay. These will be put inside the log file. Means inside node modules, we have React DOM folder. Inside that version is 18.1. It is resolved from this particular URL and it downloaded the folder. And its dependencies means this DOM is dependent on some two libraries, which is loose mv5 scheduler. Again, these two are dependent on this p dependency. That is why it will maintain this, because whenever you are uploading this application to server or some other hosting into online, it will carry forward all these references. So that will be strict. That will be strictly allowed to use the same references. So that is log.json. Even though you can delete the log.json, no need. Only the thing is when you are doing npm install in any server. Anyway, node modules we cannot copy paste. We need to install in every module, in every environment by cloning the code from GitHub or anything, you know that. After that, we need to do npm install. Then package.log.json will automatically creates with respect to the environment. Remember it. I will just install again npm install. Let's check. So whenever, if there are some HTTPS locally, if it is having some admin permissions, some issues, right, then you will do force hyphen force. See, it's created, right? It's created. If it is not there, it will create with respect to the environment. And whenever do npm install, node modules will also automatically download. You already know that. So that is how finally how the index.js is attached to HTML. This is how we'll get that root element by ID and we'll render that particular app. So whatever, so now where is this app? Is here. Go here. Are you clear till this point how it will render? What is the file structure? That is the anatomy of that. So now go to particular app. This is the app. Now you tell me, in olden days we have JavaScript and HTML, both are different files. but in React it is combined. That will call as JSX, JavaScript XML, JavaScript HTML combined. So basically this is JavaScript. Inside JavaScript we need to write the HTML code. Got it? So now in return, so this we will call as a component. This will always component because in Angular also you see everything which is rendering, that is a component. Because in index.js we are rendering, right? App component. Now this app component is a function component or functional component. Antena? This is not a class component. In React we have class components and functional components also. Angular may what we have? Class components, but not functional components. But in React we have class and functional components both. What is the difference between that? We'll tell you in the next steps. But every class and every function component will be having HTML inside only, remember it. Okay, so this we'll call as JSX. We have more features with this. I will tell you. Sorry, one time if you practice it right, it will be remembered forever. I will make you that easy. Okay, so now we are returning HTML code from this app means this returned HTML will be rendered on the HTML page. See, this is a function, but we are returning what? HTML. What I will do, I will return our own code. This is HTML. Let's check what it is running now. It is written this. Means whatever you write inside that will be returned. You got it? So since it's a React application, it will not give any error. But in normal JavaScript, if you write this div and all in return function, it will give an error. Since it's React based application, it will not give any error. But here, what is difference between .js and .jsx? So since it's a React application, we can write this JSX. Actually, this is the JSX code because we are writing HTML inside JavaScript. That is become JSX. React directly using JSX. That is the symbol of that. You see here the symbol. So now, 1 second. Okay. So now, whenever we create .jsx file, there is no issue. It will automatically get it's a JSX file. But even though if you are writing .js file, it is not giving errors. Why? Because this function we are writing somewhere and we are linking with some other React DOM. So that's why it's automatically intelligence is taking care of, and it were not getting errors. But we can write inside .jsx on .js also. That's not an issue. But we can maintain .jsx to make it proper format because we are using .jsx means we can create .jsx only, not an issue. So that will get the .jsx symbol, which is React symbol. You automatically get it, right? So that is how it will run because we are writing HTML code inside the function, which while returning the function, return type lopala, inside return type, we are writing the HTML. So this is the main thing, okay? So now we'll learn more about JSX. In the clear how the React will render, how the index.js, app.js is different. App.js is nothing but a component. I can create login.js, I can create signup.js, everything I can create. We'll just create and put you like that, okay? I can create a new folder like sign up, sign up. Inside sign up, I can create signup.jsx. For this also, I can create signup.css also, remember it. Here I can create function sign up. I can return sign up. That's it. Again, this sign up also I can mention inside index.js. Remember it. You got this right? It will automatically render. That's not an issue. We need to import it. So if you are getting error means we need to import the same way. Remember it. Got it? We have sign up slash sign up.jsx. We need to import sign up. Then it will automatically get it. App.js. We created app.jsx, right? We need to put this import. Again, default sign up is not found in. Okay. So what is this error? Was not found in the module.export. Whatever you create, you need to export it defaultly. Otherwise, it will not be imported. Remember it. That is the ES6 feature. Exports and imports. Export, we can default exports. So if there are two functions, for example, if there are two functions, sign up one and sign up two, which one you want to export defaultly, you can put that one. You got it? Otherwise, you can directly put as export function. Remember it. Okay, these two ways. Default, which one you need to export? This one. So that will be important. You got it? అర్థమైంది కదా. So whatever HTML you want to create a page, you can just create .js or .jsx file and create a function which will return the HTML code. That's it. This is a simpler way. From here, actual coding starts. When we log in, we need to share the data among login page to home component. So whenever we log in, we'll get the token and your email ID, logged in student information, courses information into LMS dashboard that need to send the data between two components. Means whenever you log in, you'll get the data, right? That data need to share into other component. That need to catch by the other component. If I need to send the data to sign up one. Make it as a home component. Okay, I need to send the data to home component. I need to send the data that I need to use here. Then only I can display, right? This slow and steadily you can learn. But today we'll deep dive into JSX. How to make JSX, how to everything we'll do it. Okay. ఇంతవరకు clear కదా. How many number of components you can create? You can directly just create function or class component. How to create class components also I will tell you now. Just continue from this method. Basically, it will work on virtual DOM. Virtual DOM means in first only I told you it will create one copy of the real DOM. So as a part of one of the node is manipulated, that will be actually binded. That is patching, which is different. There is a difference between two nodes. Those two nodes will be patched to the real DOM by managing with the virtual DOM. So that will be helping. Basically, that will improve the performance, readability, everything. Okay, now what I want. Uh, I have a login. Okay, or I have a home component. Create a home component. Home. And ఇది home. It's a dashboard. Remember it. I want new file as home.jsx. You got it? Function home. You got this function, that is fine. So we need to send what? Return HTML code. So we need to return HTML code. We need to give as H2 or division. Okay, division. We need to inside this. I want some paragraph. So now here we already have some student. Here we already have some student who is logged in. Student is logged in. Logged in, true. Right. ID T00012. Who's this 12? 14. Yes, 14. We have student's name. Akhil Sharma. Got it? Means we got the students and we got that particular JavaScript object. Courses, Web 4 or JFS 4. We got this. Now I need to bind this into HTML. How we can bind? That we can bind using JSX. We can bind using JSX. Remember it. So now we can create an element. So we can write JavaScript and HTML both as a combined, right? We can create an element. Inside this, I can just put that element. Where is the element is coming from? I can create const element equal to. We can create directly. we can create directly as an element here also. As paragraph, name as student dot uh, student name. This is one. ID courses. You got it? We can directly create that element and directly we can just append this element. Arthamayinda, you got it right? We can directly write HTML code and we can directly assign to a variable. This is the main advantage of JSX. We no need to put double quotes, single quotes. It will automatically consider because that is JSX. Directly we'll put this element in the single braces. Okay. Then the single braces will be allowed to add this. Now what we do, save all and we'll implement home in the index.js inside this, right? Here, see, we are getting this path. It will automatically import there, right? Now just check. So if you are not able to exporting that, yeah. So yes, home. We're not exporting. What we'll do? Export default home. Definitely remember it. If you are not exporting, export it, please. 1 second. Two. Let's check. Here also we have. So what we do will this. So first it will take this home. That is why it's not able to render. Now import home now is not found in. Yes. So basically while we are importing, we got the home from this, right? So what we do, we remove this. And we import home from where? Again we'll write home. Home.jsx. Now it will automatically import. You got it? So what I do, it is automatically getting here. I need to write styles as I need to give some margin, right? We'll give margin in app.css for the body, right? Give margin as 1 rem. Background color as gray. Sorry, yeah, background color as gray. We'll make it as transparent gray. And I will apply some border. Border 1 pixel, solid gray. I will make as this one. This is fine. I already applied margin, right? Is this not applied? Just implement as a 2 rem. Let's check. Yeah, we got it now because something is overridden. Now we got this background color. We can just change. That is fine. So we make some border color, something like this, and border radius 6 pixel. Now we can see it as look and beautiful good. Give some padding. Where we can give padding? We can give padding for the ID root. Ante kada. We need to give for the root because root is the ID. We can give some padding for this as 1 rem. So we'll get some spaces like this. Now you see it is good. You can able to see it. And again, we'll make it as color as 001 VD. So we can able to look it good. So this is what we added. Means how we added this in home component. We added using element. This is one way. This is one way. Just comment this. We can create another way, which is react.create element. Okay. So we can create that element equal to these are there in the material I already given because I already did that same code. So just go, I will go through one by one. See, first one is a function. I can send the another function also, put it aside. So this I can create dot react dot create element. What is the type? H1. What is the class name? If you don't have class name, you can put null. What is the value? And you can create the nested create element also. I will tell you now. Again, that we can use react.create element instead of direct HTML tag. You can use direct HTML tag like before, or you can use React.createElement. And inside React also you can use expressions, and operator, or operator. We can append that. So this and all slow and steadily we can understand. But first I will create the React element. So what I will do, React dot create element. It is a function. So we are creating an element. First we are creating division, right? Inside division you have 3 paragraphs. Remember it. We need to put as, see, just go into this. First one is type. Second one is properties. Third one is children. You got it? That children will be data or the again child elements like paragraphs. So that is the syntax. 3 types. First one is type. Which type I want? Division, right? If you want to give some class name or the properties for that, you can give class name. Class name I want div Akil. Just div common. Because if you apply CSS, it will apply to using class name. Now we need to create the child elements. Or if we have the division hello world, that is fine. It will automatically print the data. You know, if you are printing this data means, మీకు already tells you, if you are printing this data means you are having this hello world. But instead of this hello world, again I want paragraph, paragraph, paragraph. So instead of this hello world, I can create paragraphs. Remember it, we'll just check once. We have hello world. But instead of hello world, I want 3 paragraphs. We can put again React dot create element. One, again React dot create element. Two, React dot create element. Three. These 3 paragraphs, again I want to give like this. First one is paragraph. Second one, I don't have any class. I don't need to mention as a null. After this, I want to give a value. How? Which is name student dot name, right? This ES6 feature, you remember backtick character. We can directly append that. Use backtick character. Inside that, we can mention using dollar. You got it? Using ES6 feature, we can directly mention. The same, you just copy paste these two and change the names. This one is ID, right? ID student dot ID. It will get that intelligence because its objects is already referring on top. Here we have name courses, right? That's it. So basically, whenever you create element like this, I'll just put element one. Whenever you create element like this, so React will interpret like this internally. అర్థమైంది కదా? That will be allocated and that will be rendered in the HTML. This is the advantage of React. Now, if so, there is a lot of advantage. Okay, not an issue. So act is not defined. Where in home? So what is? Okay, got it. Yes. All the library keywords will be in green color. Remember it always. Because that will be declared and that will be coming from library. That will be coming from green color. Even though if you go to index.js, then you can easily identify that is from React. Or the rendering component will also in green color because that is a component or a class. So those you can see the differences. If you are having some issues, immediately you can able to understand there itself whether it is right or wrong. So you easily identify, right? Now just check. We are getting. See, courses web 4, comma JFS 4. Again, now Amar came, sir, I don't want this courses as comma separated because that is as it is printing. I want this comma separated as a list, unordered list. అర్థమైంది కదా? I want another list. Then what I want to do? This one, right? Again, what I need to do? So I need to create inside this paragraph. Inside this paragraph, uh, I need to do React dot అర్థమైందా? Create element. Inside this React dot create element, I want UL. Anthena, we want to as now I need to write the content. So which content I want? So let it be. So courses, student dot courses, courses dot map. item, comma index I can take. We got two elements, which is this one and this one. So now I can create this list item. You got it? You can directly create that. Here inside list item, I can print the item and I can mention as an ID equal to uh, index plus one. You got it? You can directly map it and do that. Let's try this. Not sure why it's not coming. Let's try this. Yes, we got it right. So we no need to put that element in the backtick character. If it is a string, then we can put in backtick character. If it is not a string, we can directly mention that. You got it? How to make it? It's an easy. The thing is, you are writing JavaScript inside HTML. That is the one. Now how we can now tell me how I need to render this subjects in React.js. I need to do the same way because I will get the list of subjects. I need to mention as the, I need to map it and get the list I. I need to append it. Ante kada. That is how we need to do. It అర్థమైందా? So it's very simple. Basically, only the thing is React is lightweight. If you write this in the interview, right, you will be selected directly because nobody will remember this syntax because they will write some mistakes. You can write this way or you can directly write this way also. Here also you can create. Here also you can mention not an issue. That's what I'm saying. Directly copy paste this. That's it. It will automatically get it. This one also you can use it, right? You can use element one also. You got it. You got the same result. You don't need to refresh React. It will automatically refresh because it will not reload at all. It will just change this. It will just change it. That is the virtual DOM. Virtual DOM means what? It will not refresh the page. It will just update the part of the DOM. That is the importance of the, that is the performance. You got it. The next one is, in the clear, everyone, online people, Sai Kumar, Rana, are you clear till this point?
Yes,
The thing is, you need to understand this JSX, how to utilize it. Until me own value, you can create courses, you can create subjects, you can create student and create the paragraphs dynamically, create the unordered list dynamically. Using React.create element, you can create. Using direct element, you can create. First, you can just practice this. This is very important. After that, you can go somewhere. You got it? Is this point right? I can create one more E2. E2 what I want to do. So basically, I have a function. I want to modify the code. So now I have first name and last name. I create a function which will append first name and last name and will get the React create element. So that, for example, I create a function modify names, or this is a function to generate the automatic identification number or ID number. I will create it, not an issue. So what is the current ID number? Next ID, const next ID equal to 102. I have 102 as the next ID. Now I will just call this. It will return, or I will create this as generate ID. It will return. It will return React dot create element of as a paragraph and null, and it will automatically generate this using this one. Like you can send prefix also. What is the prefix? What is the prefix? That will be T or something. For you T, right? You can mention T, prefix T. Prefix, and you will be added with next ID. You got it? You can you can generate this and you can send this. And for this element, you can append it using React dot create element, you no need to send anything. You can send what? Generate ID, comma, you need to send prefix, right? You can directly send prefix as T. It will create and get it. So now if you are sending object means, directly you can send like this. You can send object like this. Or if it's sending directly value means, you can directly send, not an issue. Then it will create and store in E2, and that E2 we can print again. This is an object, what we do, 102 is appended. Okay, need to send as an object, as not a value. We'll just put as a prefix. Props, like properties dot prefix. You got it right? So basically, whatever you send here, that will consider as an object. So every time whenever you're sending it, try to send in an object braces. Otherwise, it will be assumed as an object. I will debug it. So ఇప్పుడు నేనేమంటాను, inside props we have prefix. We can able to access it, sir. Again, if I don't send as a prefix, I'm directly sending T means I can directly use this props, right? Which will be attached. Allow me, you have some doubt, right? It will consider it's as an object because it is using high level React create element. It will consider T as an object. So that we need to deprecate using properties key. So this home.jsx, we can debug this. Right click and inspect it. How it is happening. Go to sources. Go to home.jsx, right? Here we are, right? Now let's check how it's happening. Just refresh this. Now JSX. See, we just dock it up. Let's see. See, we have this, right? We'll go inside this. See, we got properties as the 0. Actually, it will take as an object. If we're sending directly T means it will be converting as an object. So that is why we need to send this an object only always. Now that is why it's getting an object. If you are because in that particular object there is no key as a T, or there is no key. It's a directly object that will say, because if we're printing object, it will say object. You already know that. Then we need to send like this, like prefix. Then you will get it. Again, we need to make it as props dot prefix. Then you will get it. Ardhamainda. So this is the main importance of JSX. If you write this element like this, it will automatically interpret by Reactjs like this. You can write two ways. This is the pure JSX. This is the encrypted JSX. This will be converted internally to JSX using React.create element. So now this is what I'm just telling till now. So go to material. Like we formatted name, we are using some function. And I am appending any function that will return like this. Any function that will return like this using it return. We can use that function. See React.create element. We can create directly also, or we can create like this. That will be transpiled to like this. Normal we can create this, that will transpile to like this. We can also create like this. So basically we are habituated with this one. That's why most of the times we will create like this only. But that will transpile to like this. How we created now? and attributes. So now I will tell you attributes and all. Mm. Yes. Yes. అది చెప్తాయి. యా ఫంక్షన్స్ ఎక్కడ కాల్ అవుతాయి చెప్తాయి. సో చూడండి ఇక్కడ కూడా వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ క్రియేట్ ఎలిమెంట్ అండ్ వీఆర్ క్రియేటింగ్ యాజ్ ప్రాప్స్ డాట్ నేమ్. ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏదైతే చేస్తామో ద సేమ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ వీ డూ నౌ ద సేమ్ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఇట్ హియర్ అండ్ వీఆర్ రెండరింగ్ ఇట్ డైరెక్ట్లీ, రైట్? సో దట్ ఐఎమ్ యూజింగ్ all this or using react dot create element. Are you clear till this point, right? Now after this we will tell you expressions like so embedded expressions we are just using, you know this, I will tell you. After this plus minus operators we can use it. After this we cannot use if else condition in the JSX. We can use ternary operator. If you want to use if else condition, again you need to write inside the function. Inside if else condition inside the function you need to return as a HTML element. You remember it? You cannot use directly inside the React JSX as if else without JavaScript. Without JavaScript you can use ternary operator. That is fine. That is I mentioned basically. So after this we'll use operators also. Undo or operators we will use. After that we'll end the session for this React. So now what Vishnu is asking, we created a function app from where it is calling. This is what, right? So now what I am doing, I am exporting this. If I'm exporting this means I should import somewhere and use it. So now where I'm using it, check now. I'm using index.js. Here I am utilizing it means it will automatically called. Here I am utilizing, right? This app will be automatically called. That's it. So wherever I use this app, those many places it will automatically call. Whenever it call, right, it will return this one. Again inside return, if you are calling another function, for example, I am calling another function like this. I have another function const student. What student will return? It will return this is Ma Bhasha. So now this student is also function, right? It will automatically call that function also because we are using that function in the function expression. So it will print this is Ma Bhasha. I think I need to mention like this. Just check. We cannot call like this basically. Just check. How to call in the inline of the HTML, I will tell you in the next session. So basically, whenever we on click, right? Whenever we click it, then we will call like this. Ilaga will call it. So that it will be called. You got it? That it will call. I will just put window.alert. So ఇప్పుడు మనకి DOM operations, we have DOM operations on click, on handle, or when click on it, it is calling function. How to call it will be explaining the next concepts. Where this is the HTML, right? This will not work anyway. So we need to tell that in the next modules. I need to brief about it. How to handle the events. But external functions, how to call, we need to tell next onwards. But internally, how it is calling is because of index.js. Because index.js, we are using it in index.js. It's automatically calling. So basically, if you're utilizing it somewhere, means it will automatically call. Remember it. Got it? The next is literals, JSX literals. Literals means what? We want to embed the strings or values in the HTML templates. That is literals. We can create literals for some time. So what I need to do? So this is nothing but a literal. This is nothing but a literal. So if you are creating some function, this is Suresh from Nellore. ID is students.id. This is literal. Again, if you want to mention one more React days element, for example, I can create as const student data. I will return. I will return here, right? Student data is already there. So put student data 1 equal. Student data 1, I will return as the paragraph. Here, okay, just written as the HTML template. Here, I need to return this. This is student ID. I will return as static character. Student.id. You got it? This I can directly mention in the paragraph here using student details one. So this will return. So that will also we can able to mention. See, you got it right. If you are writing inside this, it will automatically get it. This is student ID. You got it? So this is how we can use literals. Means we are using strings and which is dynamic string. This also it will automatically call. But HTML లో ఇందాక రెండర్ అయినప్పుడు కాల్ అవ్వలేదు. But it is having some more feature how to add it. But inside the JSX elements it will automatically call. And again, I want to mention if it is logged in, he is logged in equal to true. If it is logged in, then only I want to show the logout button or this button which should log out. So what I need to do? I need to do here is student dot, right? Student dot is logged in. And then only it will print it. This please log out. And that's it. It will automatically save it. Please log out. If so, now if I want if else condition, then I will use ternary operator. Please log in. I'm using true. Just mention as false. Please log in. So instead of this, I can give one more element also, which is const login icon. You got it? I can send the login icon. I can return SVG icon here. Let's go. SVG login icon. We got it right. So only the thing is we can give n number of n. So ide anko. Idi mari ghoranga undi. So let's use this. Okay. Edit this vector. Has 007 1 meeting. Now copy this. Okay. Now we can return this. Height enta will give 40. So now we'll put login icon here. Else logout icon. After else please log in button present. You see the difference. Uh, this login icon, right? So what I will do, I will put inside the division. Let's check. Actually, it should work basically because so మనం ఏం చేద్దామంటే we'll put inside paragraph login icon. Let's check. Logout. It's saying this SVG is a namespace tag. JSX does not suppose you can set true if namespace false to bypass this warning. Actually, this is namespace tag. What is namespace tag and why it's not running? Tomorrow we'll go through the deep. So we just check whether namespace throw namespace that is inside in which package. We need to set somewhere. No, we need to set somewhere. We'll see that tomorrow. So basically SVG is not rendering for today due to namespace tag. Just render with some high. Let's check it is rendering, but SVG is only not rendering. Let's check, not an issue. So this is how we can manage the state. Or else what we do, for example, we have the batch ID. Batch ID is null. Fine. If it is null, then I want to print the alternate one using or operator. We have AND operator. We can use or operator also. So like batch ID, I need to print, right? If batch ID or default. From where batch ID we have student dot batch ID. Student dot batch ID. Where is the student? Here. Mm, 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 mm. No, wait, Braces. We need to write inside this. అప్పుడు ఏం చేద్దాం అంటే you can directly use backtick character. So here we can use backtick character, okay? It will automatically, if we are getting batch ID or we need to put it. Yes. So what we need to put here? We need to put here inside this. Inside this, we need to put default as a string. So this is how we can add batch ID default. So basically, whatever the dynamic you are adding, you need to put inside the this one. Slow and steadily, you can practice. Actually, you know this in Angular or even JavaScript also. String literals we are using. That is the dynamic strings. We are passing it in ES6 features. This is nothing but a ES6 feature only, basically. This is also one of the features we can able to add. That is or and. And means if it is there, the next one will execute. Otherwise, that will be null. That will not even execute. If it is or means if it is there, otherwise it will execute the another default one which we given as a default or some other thing. You got it? And even it will actually JSX will eliminate the SQL injection attacks. What is SQL injection? So we'll write some script here. Script, what we'll do here, console.log something. If you're maintaining this, if you're using this like this, if you're using this script also, it will not allow to write the script. Basically, it will, someone should not write the script inside the HTML. They will not write. So if you're writing some script means you are doing malicious script by the hacker side. So those cannot be able to hack it using their own script. So it will not allow, because since it's JSX, right? It will not allow the script. Only the thing is we can write HTML elements only inside the JavaScript as a return. We should not write again JavaScript inside the HTML. We can write HTML inside the JavaScript, but not JavaScript inside the HTML. You got it? That will eliminate SQL injection attacks. Means if you are writing some modifying the script on the browser means it is SQL injection attack. So that will call the database also with wrong information. So that we are eliminating. Finally, this will be represented like this. We can create a function which will create an element using name, and we are appending that particular element. Again, we are using that as an element and we are making it. So using this element also, we can make it as type props children. It will produce like this. So basically what is happening, we created like this and we appended like this. After this, it will compile to like this. You got it? You know how to write this. We already written. It will compile to like this. Finally, it will produce object like this. This is the different stages of compilation, which we'll call as transpilation from one form to another form. అంతే కదా, transforming from one form to another form. Since it's a JavaScript, it will also compile from JavaScript to TypeScript or JSX to JavaScript or TypeScript to JavaScript. So ఆ విధంగా first this is what we need to do, or otherwise this we will do. Finally, it will compile to like this. If you are directly writing this, that is also fine. It will directly compile to like this. And again, that will be created like this. And this will be attached to the DOM basically using JSX properties. So that is how the object will differ. So directly మీరు ఏంటంటే ఈ code. So whatever the code it is here, you can directly copy paste and put it. See, I created items and mapped it. The same way you can create students, how I created like courses for a student. You can map it. You can replace this example also with by default items to student objects. I can also replace and update the material. I will update now only. Is this module 3, right? So what I will do, I will update with student IDs. Here we have ID, right? Here we have students. I will copy. What I will do, I will copy this students below students. I will update it. I'll just put all this whole object. So where we have item. Here, instead of this, I will delete this and add this one, which we added now. We can able to get it, right? We can able to get it how we added it in the class. I'll just update the material. So now you have any doubts till this point? How JSX ante you got it now. How it's very easy basically, but only you need to practice one day. That how to, so JSX may, if you have list, how to iterate this as a dynamic list or unordered list or paragraph, you can iterate it. How to append it. Again, how to do react.create element. How we can append it to the HTML DOM. You just practice that. You got it, Rana? Mahendra, I will update the material also. Actual material is also already there. I will update with the updated code so that you can go on